Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex Halsey. I'm the health fitness specialist at the McLean location. Welcome to the Wednesday WOD, the Wednesday workout of the day. So I hope you guys had a chance to check out the description to see what moves we'll be doing today. So only 15-minute class, right? So we're pretty much going to jump right into it, and we're going to have 3 moves. We're going to do these 3 moves in a tabata style format, meaning 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We're going to do that 9 times in our 15 minutes. All right, so 3 moves times 9, that's 27 intervals, all right, or 27 individual steps, 27 individual times where we do our moves to get our workout today. All right, so because the class is so short, what I like to do is take the first few sets of the 3 moves that we have to kind of just warm up, do a lighter or modified slower version of that just before we really get going. All right, so we'll give you a chance to get your heart rate up. We're just going to take a light jog before we get going, and then you can kind of use those first few sets to warm yourself up, and then we'll get right into it. All right, so again, it's only 15 minutes, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We're going to cycle through that 9 times for our 3 moves today. All right, so you will need weights for today's class, so grab your weights. We're going to be using the weights for either all 3 of the movements today or 2 of the 3. All right, so I'll show you how those moves look as we kind of go through, and actually I'll demonstrate them for you right now. But move number 1, we're going to have, if I can get my stuff up here. Okay, cool. We have rows and flies. So because we have a row with a fly, we have to go based off the weight we can handle with the fly. So you have a row, you're bent over here, and then you come to your fly. Row, both hands, or one at a time, whichever you choose. All right, so the fly is going to be the harder of the 2, so you're going to be able to handle less weight with that compared to the row. So whatever you can handle with the fly is what you want to choose for your weight. Move number 2, we've got a 3-dimensional lunge. All right, so we have a curtsey, a back lunge, and a transverse lunge. Okay, so you're coming across for the curtsey. For your transverse, you come right back toward the back corner of the room, and you're going to turn, and then you have a regular back lunge, straight back. All right, so actually I got the order wrong. It's curtsey, back, and then transverse lunge. All right, so you turn, you reach your foot back, turn toward the corner of the room. That's your transverse lunge. And then the last move, we have a side bend. So you're gonna grab your weight, you're gonna have your weight overhead, and you turn or push your foot toward the floor. Push your hand towards your foot. Good Lord. You push your hand toward the floor. You don't have to touch your foot. We're just going in that direction. All right. So I'm gonna be doing all these moves unweighted when we first start, just to warm myself up, and then I'll go into the full move. All right. So on our feet for all 3 moves, let's move this mat out the way. We don't need it. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start my timer here. Counting you down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so just jog in place for these first 20 seconds. We'll kind of go a little bit out of order, but we'll get ourselves back into order. I'm gonna jog through the first 20 seconds of work and the first 10 seconds of rest. And then we'll kind of go skip the first move, being the rows and fly, go right into 3-dimensional lunge. Okay, so curtsey, back, and transverse. You'll switch legs when you come back to this move. Should be able to get 3 rounds. All right. Now we're going to the side bend. So I'm gonna do this on air without weight. So slightly spread your feet. You can bring your left or right hand up, reach down toward the floor, and come up. Again, I suggest you do this without weight unless you're just ready to go, just to warm yourself up. So course, if I'm doing the full move, I have the weight in my hand, hands overhead, and I'm reaching down. All right, so we're back to the top. We've got the row and the fly. So you grab your weights, row, fly. So the focus here, we're doing this because I want you to learn how to flatten your back out. So you're pulling toward the hip, each rep. All right, 3-dimensional lunge, and of course, maybe you can keep the weights in your hands if you want to use the weight. All right, switch legs, curtsey, back, transverse, curtsey, back, transverse. I'm going out of order, but I got it. All right, overhead side bend. So if you want to do this unweighted on the other side, go for it. That's what I'm going to do. Did my left hand the first time, got the right hand up now. All right, back to the top. I'm ready. I hope you guys are ready. I'm doing full weight for each move. Rows and flies. So pull back toward the hip, come to the fly. Take your time. When you come to the fly, make sure you pull your shoulder blades back and together. All right. 3-dimensional lunge. Make sure you switch legs again here. Curtsey, back, transverse. Curtsey, back, transverse. A little bit of a balancing act. But if you have the balance, you can halfway do this whole move on one leg. All right. Overhead side bend. Make sure you switch arms. And again, you don't have to touch your foot. Just keep the weight overhead. Keep your eyes on your weight. Bend down toward the floor. Reach down toward the floor. Come back up. Try to keep your hand as vertical as possible. So we're back to the top. Rows and flies. Hopefully you're able to do both arms at the same time. You can do one and switch like we do with the legs. Or you can do both. And again, pull your shoulder blades together when you come to the fly. All right, 3D lunge, switch legs. Curtsey, back, transverse. And I'm going the right way. Curtsey, back. I'm doing this wrong. I need to switch legs. There we go. Transverse. Curtsey, back. I only got 2 in. Oh, that sucks. Don't get confused like me. It'll take away how much work you can get done. But even if you do, all good. Just bounce right back, and we're good. Overhead side bend. Make sure you switch sides. Trying to keep your hand over your shoulder. That's why you gotta keep your eyes vertical. We don't want your hand here, we want it here. All right. Row and fly. Okay, so again, you're pulling your shoulder blades together. That's going to help flatten your back out. It should almost feel like you're arching your upper back. If so, that's perfectly fine. That is halfway what we want. 3D lunge. Make sure you switch legs. All right, curtsey, back, transverse. Curtsey, back, transverse. Curtsey, back, transverse. All right. Back to the top. It's getting hot. Again, arch that upper back. It's okay if that's the sensation you're getting. We want to get as close to that as we can. Again, arching the upper back, not the lower. Two different things. Three, D, where are we at? No, overhead side bends. There we go. There we go. Again, we're trying to keep the hand over the shoulder. Don't have to touch the floor. Just keep that arm as straight as you can. Keep the weight over your shoulder. All right, so we've got 12 more rounds. Back to a 3D lunge, switching legs. Curtsey, back, transverse. Curtsey, back, transverse. Okay. Whew. Back to the top. Rows and flies. 10 more rounds. That sounds like a lot. Take your time. Don't need to rush. Okay. Overhead side bends again. Don't forget to switch sides. So I'm on my right hand. And it's okay if you need to bend your knees here too. So we're trying to lock the arm out, get that arm as straight as you can. All right. Whew. 3D lunge, switch sides. Almost done. Got less than 10 intervals to go. Curtsey, back, transverse. Curtsey, back, transverse. Ooh. You guys hear my cracks? That sounded like it hurt, but it didn't. It actually felt good. Rows and flies. So I hope the weights you chose were light enough so that you can keep moving. Feel free to adjust it as you need. Overhead side bends. Make sure you switch arms. Breathing here is very important. You want to exhale as you come up, inhale as you go down. All right. 3D lunge. Like I say, as you execute a push against the resistance, that's when you want to exhale. Curtsey, back, transverse. Ooh, okay. back to the top. Last round here, or last round of all 3 moves. Again, make sure that form is still intact. You may be tired, but that doesn't mean you can't have good form. If you feel like your form is being compromised, just adjust the weight. Keep on going. 3D lunge, switch legs. Curtsey, back, transverse. All right. Overhead side bends. Last one, guys. Again, don't forget to breathe. Okay. Oh, looks like we got one more. All right, we'll finish up at the top. Rows and flies. Maybe it's the knee who's out of order. I'm not too sure. But just keep on moving. Okay. Whew. We are all done. Catch your breath, grab a swig of water. All right, so that was the first all weighted WOD, Wednesday WOD we have done. So I hope that was challenging and enjoyable for you guys. Challenging but doable. It was for me. I know I need to eat something. Doing a lot in the early AM is, at this time of the week, a little bit harder. But I'll be getting a good night's rest. So you guys get that for yourselves. Hope you have a good work day, a good productive work day. All right, you start your day off with some movement. That's great. Check that off the box. Carry that momentum into the rest of your day. All right, so stretch if you need to. Calm your body down, cool your body down. Do a little bit here, do a little bit there. Just remember to get up every now and then, especially after you work out, so that you don't stiffen up too much. All right, so again, stretch out if you need. Get yourself some nutrients so you can carry this momentum into the rest of your day. So thank y'all for joining me today. This is the Wednesday WOD, and this is actually my last Wednesday WOD. So whoever continues this, just roll with them, work with them, and you should be just fine. All right, so I'll ask you guys later. Have a good one. If I can get this to cut off.